Okay, seems like we are a-okay. Welcome everyone to the live stream. I hope you guys are enjoying your lockdown wherever you are in the world. I certainly am being productive in mine. At least I hope so. And today we're going to be continuing on with the book of Exodus. And yes, and before I go on, I just want to say that it's not. I'm gonna be making normal videos at some point again. It's just that this live video format actually helps me, and I think this is pretty much gonna be my go-to format for Bible reading and so on. Let me just pop out the comments so that I can just keep one side, so I don't have to continuously check back to the video and freaking mirrors and all that. But yeah, so what we're gonna be reading about is apparently Jethro visits Moses. Moses. So yes, as I was busy saying, I will be making normal videos as well. I've got plenty of stuff on cults because cults. If you're into that research and all that, it's the gift that keeps on giving. There's cults by the day, so we can look at that shortly. But for now, we're doing this Bible reading video, and feel free to comment and I'll respond to them as they come in. Okay, so Jethro, the priest of Midian and father-in-law of Moses, everything God had done for Moses and for his people Israel. Now the Lord had brought Israel out of Egypt. Okay, so it's Bible Gateway I'm using this time around. I think Bible Hub is the other one. After Moses had sent away his wife Zipporah, his father-in-law Jethro received her two sons, one named Gershom, for Moses said, I have become a foreigner in a foreign land. Gershom, so Gershom's the Hebrew word for a foreigner there. Okay, and the other was named Eliezer. He said, my father's God was my helper. He saved me from the sword of Pharaoh. Eliezer means God, my God is helper. Okay, well, that's interesting. Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, together with Moses' sons and wife, came to him in the wilderness where he was camped near the mountain of God. Jethro had sent word to him, I, your father-in-law Jethro, am coming to you with your wife and her two sons. So Moses went out to meet his father-in-law and bowed down and kissed him. They greeted each other and then went into the tent. Moses told his father-in-law about everything the Lord had done to Pharaoh and the Egyptians for Israel's sake, and about all the hardships they had met along the way and how the Lord had saved them. Jethro was delighted to hear about all the good things that the Lord had done for Israel in rescuing them from the hand of the Egyptians. He said, Praise be to the Lord who rescued you from the hand of the Egyptians and of Pharaoh, and who rescued the people from the hand of the Egyptians. Now I know that the Lord is greater than all other gods, for he did this to those who had treated Israel arrogantly. Then Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, brought a burnt offering and other sacrifices to God. And Aaron came with all the elders of Israel to eat a meal with Moses' father-in-law in the presence of God. The next day Moses took his seat and served as a judge for the people, and they stood around him from morning till evening. I just remembered the last video my voice was incredibly distorted because I was speaking way too close to the mic. So I hope it sounds better now. Just let me know if it does not. Okay. Amen. Thank you. Thank you very much for tuning in. Miana. I hope that's how we pronounce your name. Okay, where was I again? Yes. When his father-in-law saw all that Moses was doing for the people, he said, What is this you are doing for the people? Why do you alone sit as judge, while all these people stand around you from morning till evening? Moses answered him, Because the people came to me to seek God's will. Whenever they have a dispute, it is brought to me, and I decide between the parties and inform them of God's decrees and instructions. Let's get rid of that ad. Sorry for the ads, people. But can't really do much about it. Moses' father-in-law replied, What are you doing? What you are doing is not good. You and these people who come to you will only wear yourselves out. The work is too heavy for you. You cannot handle it alone. Listen now to me, and I will give you some advice. And may God be with you. You must be the people's representative before God and bring their disputes to him. Teach them his decrees and instructions, and show them the way they are to live and how they are to behave. But select capable men from all the people, men who fear God, trustworthy men who hate dishonest gain, and appoint them as officials over thousands, hundreds, fifties, and tens. Have them serve as judges for the people at all times. Okay, so let's just take a look a bit at the structure. So already here we're getting a sense of the structure of Moses' leadership. And we'll give you, you must be the people's representative and bring the disputes to him. Teach him in his decrees and show them. But select capable men from all the people, men who fear God, trustworthy men who hate dishonest gain, and appoint them as officials over thousands. So firstly, there's chief officials. I guess you could call those the regional managers. Then you got hundreds. Okay, so maybe those guys over thousands, they're the senior managers. Then you got the regional managers. 50s, you got the general managers, and the 10s, you got your middle managers, who nobody likes. No, that's just a joke. Have them serve as judges for the people at all times, but have them bring every difficult case to you. The simple cases they can decide themselves. That will make your load lighter because they will share it with you. Well, he makes a lot of sense. That's good. I think he would be awarded an honorary MBA if it didn't live so long ago. If you do this and God so commands, you will be able to stand the strain, and all these people will go home satisfied. Moses listened to his father-in-law and did everything he said. He chose capable men from all Israel and made them leaders of the people, officials over thousands, hundreds, fifties, and tens. Okay, so does that mean that there's a structure, or did he just say, okay, I think there is a structure. I think I did interpret it correctly. They served as judges for the people at all times. The difficult cases they brought to Moses, but the simple ones they decided themselves. Then Moses sent his father-in-law on his way, and Jethro returned to his own country. Okay, let's go to the next chapter. If the internet didn't bomb out again. Okay, so there is going to be a bit of buffering, so that just means I'm going to have to sit around and wait at the end of the video so it catches up. Otherwise, if I end the recording too soon, then it's going to end pretty abruptly, like my previous video on Exodus. At Mount Sinai, okay, let's see. Alright, on the first day of the 3rd month after the Israelites left Egypt, on that very day they came to the desert of Sinai. After they set out from Rephidim, they entered the desert of Sinai, and Israel camped there in the desert in front of the mountain. Then Moses went up to God, and the Lord called him from the mountain and said, "This is what you are to say to the descendants of Jacob, and what you are to tell the people of Israel. You yourselves have seen what I did to Egypt, and how I carried you on eagle's wings and brought you to myself. Now if you obey me fully and keep my covenant, then out of all nations you will be my treasured possession. Although the whole earth is mine, you, possession, you, for the whole earth is mine. Although the whole, or possession, for the whole earth is mine." Okay, weird place to put a booknote, but anyway. Will you, or footnote, will be for me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words you are to speak to the Israelites. So Moses went back and summoned the elders of the people and set before them all the words the Lord had commanded him to speak. The people all responded together, "We will do everything the Lord has said." So Moses brought their answer back to the Lord. The Lord said to Moses, "I am going to come to you in a dense cloud so that the people will hear me speaking with you and will always put their trust in you." Then Moses told the Lord what the people had said. Then the Lord said to Moses, I skipped ahead of the New Testament there. And the Lord said to Moses, "Go to the people and consecrate them today and tomorrow. Have them wash their clothes and be ready by the 3rd day." There's the 3rd day. It's very biblical. 3rd day, the number 7. Yeah, it's a recurring number in the Bible. "Because on that day the Lord will come down on Mount Sinai in the sight of all the people. Put limits for the people around the mountain and tell them, be careful that you do not approach the mountain or touch the foot of it. Whoever touches the mountain is to be put to death. They are to be stoned or shot with arrows, not a hand is to be laid on them. No person or animal shall be permitted to live. Only when the ram's horn, okay, where's it again? No, shall be permitted. Only when the ram's horn sounds a long blast may they approach the mountain." After Moses had gone down the mountain to the people, he consecrated them and they washed their clothes. Then he said to the people, "Prepare yourselves for the 3rd day. Abstain from physical relations. On the morning of the third day there was a thunder and lightning with a thick cloud over. There was thunder and lightning with a thick cloud over the mountain, and a very loud trumpet blast. Everyone in the camp trembled. Then Moses led the people out of the camp to meet with God, and they stood at the foot of the mountain. Mount Sinai was covered with smoke, because the Lord descended on it in fire. The smoke billowed up from it like smoke from a furnace, and the whole mountain was Hebrew manuscripts, a few Hebrew manuscripts in Septuagint, and all the people trembled violently. Okay, so it's, in some translations they say that. My creaky chair. As the sound of the trumpet grew louder and louder, Moses spoke, and the voice of God answered him. And God answered him with thunder. Wow. The Lord descended to the top of Mount Sinai and called Moses to the top of the mountain. So Moses went up, and the Lord said to him, "Go down and warn the people so they do not force their way through to see the Lord, and many of them perish. Even the priests who approach the Lord must consecrate themselves, or the Lord will break out against them." Okay, that's kind of scary. Moses said to the Lord, "The people cannot come up to Mount Sinai because you yourself warned us. Put limits around the mountain and set it apart as holy." The Lord replied, "Go down and bring Aaron up with you. But the priests and the people must not force their way through to come up to the Lord, or he will break out against them." So Moses went down to the people and told them. Okay, live stream still going. Let's see, anybody else join the chat? Okay. And God spoke all these words: "I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. You shall have no other gods before me." So these are the 10 commandments. Besides, another translation is, "You shall have no other gods besides me." You shall not make for yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven above, or on the earth beneath, or in the waters below. You shall not bow down to them or worship them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sins of the parent to the third and the fourth generation of those who hate me, but showing love to 1,000 generations of those who love and keep my commandments. You shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God, for the Lord will not hold anyone guiltless who misuses his name. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do your work, but the 7th day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, neither you, nor your son or daughter, nor your male or female servant, nor your animals, nor any foreigner residing in your towns. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea and all that is in them, but he rested on the 7th day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. Honor your father and your mother, so that they may live long in the land the Lord your God is giving you. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, or his male or female servant, his ox or donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. I don't know why he would covet his donkey, but there you have it. When the people saw the thunder and lightning and heard the trumpet and saw the mountain in smoke, they trembled with fear. They stayed at a distance and said to Moses, "Speak to us yourself, and we will listen. But do not have God speak to us, or we will die." Moses said to the people, "Do not be afraid. God has come to test you, so that the fear of God will be with you to keep you from sinning." The people remained at a distance, while Moses approached the thick darkness where God was. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Tell the Israelites this: You have seen for yourself that I have spoken to you from heaven. Do not make any gods to be alongside me. Do not make for yourselves gods of silver or gods of gold. Make an altar of earth for me, and sacrifice on it your burnt offerings and fellowship offerings, your sheep and goats and your cattle. Wherever I cause my name to be honored, I will come to you and bless you. If you make an altar of stones for me," let me not speak that loud, "do not build it with dressed stones, for you will defile it if you use a tool on it. And do not go up to my altar on steps, or your private spots may be exposed." Okay, that's a weird way to end this video, but yeah, just take note of that. Make sure you cover up well. Alright, so thank you guys so much for tuning in. I just need to check if the live stream's still going. Yeah, it is indeed. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys again next time with another video right here. Okay, BRX.